All right. This is the kind of the summary, debriefing of the eventful trip home. This was a little more involved than usual, and yeah, I gotta say, it was quite a day. It was a 6:30 wake up time after probably a 1:30 bedtime, 2 o'clock. I was as always the last man standing. I don't do that just to be the last man standing. It's just I like to hang out as long as people are hanging out, and yeah, once everyone else goes to bed, I don't last too much longer. But so, long story short, or short story long, I didn't get much sleep, but that was okay actually. I felt like I got enough, and it was okay. And I guess I was on Florida time by that point. I mean, it'd been like several days, but you left at like 7:01 sharp, even though it's supposed to be 7. Left at 7, and yeah, the trip to the airport was 30 minutes, like pretty much on the nose. 30 minutes. Got to see a cool sunrise. Funny thing, since there was another person traveling, a friend Tony, he got the front seat since he's a lot taller, and I was in the back seat, which actually turned out to be kind of a bonus because then the sun rises on the left, and then I could like lean over, roll down the window, like we're still rolling, and then what do we say? Roll. I guess it's still roll down the window because, yeah. All right. Anyway, yeah, I got the sunset with no interference, so that actually kind of worked out really well. But the funny thing is, at the airport, I'm like walking by the stuff we just seen like 3 days prior, and it's just funny because it's still fresh in my mind. So I'm like walking by, man, I just like, okay, weren't we just there talking about like get a beer there or get Quiznos there and sit down here and wait for the ride and all this stuff. It's just so crazy when these trips are that short that it's still vividly in my mind. Like we were just here a couple days ago. So, but I got to the gate and I still hadn't heard. It was just quite the obsession. Like, will I get the first class or will I not? And it didn't really matter that much to me because I still had a decent seat in premium, but it kind of did. And it had been like, there were 3 seats left. And in the morning of, I think there was 2, or the day before, there's 2 seats left, but then there was that check-in. And by the time we checked in, there were still 2 seats left. So I thought, why aren't we getting the upgrade? And then eventually there's 1 seat left. So I thought, okay. And they were no longer even available for sale online. So I don't know who's going to get these seats. And I was still first on the list. My friend was second because he's tagging onto my account. And then that seat disappeared. And like I didn't have it. I thought, what happened? Who got the seat? Because like no one was in front of me. It's like, where did my seat go? So I was a little bummed about that. But got on the plane. And of course we got early boarding this time. Well, I had it last time too. My friend didn't. But I had a window seat, and my friend had an aisle seat, and nobody was like in between. And I always thought they upgraded just everyone in economy that had like status to fill out the premium seats. But I think also, even if you got a decent economy seat, you don't want to take a middle premium seat, even though you got more leg room. It's just like, it just sucks. So that seat was open. They closed the doors. They're like, woo! It's not first class, but the only downside was really a meal because there's plenty of leg room. And then all of a sudden, like I just see this conversation up in like first class, and then all of a sudden the flight attendant comes back and say, James, I said, yeah, oh yeah, and like thinking, I know what's coming. She's like, yeah, we want to sit up in first. Yes, I do. So for some reason, I had been upgraded, but just never, it didn't process. So it worked. So I got to sit up there, and I was so happy. It was bulkhead, so I had to like put my luggage or move my backpack, but I forgot to move my suitcase. And I thought about that once we took off, but it was good. So I got the meal, and I wasn't too hungry. I got my free drink. I got a mimosa. I think there's a little bit of shock. Mimosa? It's only 8 in the morning. It's like, yeah, it's a morning drink. Come on. So anyway, I didn't want to drink too much, but I thought, I'm not driving when I get home. I'll enjoy my flight. So take off, and then finally at some point I get my bag and try to move it up, but first class is kind of full, and I'm just thinking, suitcases. Although, oh yeah, I forgot something. TSA pre-check. No pre-check this time because my friend didn't have pre-check, so. And I'm thinking, the tickets are on my phone, the boarding passes. So I thought, oh man. So we got, and it's not a huge thing. It's just, when you get there, all right, take off your shoes, like, what? And in fact, when I got to the thing and showed it, they only needed driver's license. So I thought, dang it, I didn't even have to, but there's no way to know that ahead of time, because sometimes they do need boarding passes and driver's license. It's weird. But I said, is there another line? He said, no, it's all, you have to go like all the way around. There's like no way to do it. It's like, might as well just go through then. It would have been crazy. But that meant taking off my shoes and taking out my notebook and laptop and putting my hands up like a criminal and like all this stuff. Like, I normally don't do this. It's just weird to go back to doing that. But the line was really short. It was very fast. It was like 5 minutes tops anyway. But then I start to leave with my backpack when Tony had arrived, and I thought, no, I feel light. I feel like something's missing. Oh yeah, I got a suitcase. I totally forgot about my suitcase. So I looked back at the security belt and it wasn't there. It was like, okay, they're probably looking through it. And so someone said, yeah, is this yours? Yes, it is. So they said, well, we got to rescan it with the speaker because I brought the boombox. So they took it back and scanned it again. No big deal. It was had 45 minutes or so. But yeah, that was, my friend had already said, just go to Starbucks, get your drink, because it's going to take me a little while. But it was fine. It was just, yeah, it was kind of a little annoying, but it's like, okay, fine, whatever. Because I had things carefully arranged there, because I put my suit into the suitcase this time, since it could become a little crumpled, and I wouldn't have minded. But anyway, so yeah, the flight was pretty good. Yeah, overall, a decent flight. I tried not to sleep because I figured I'd probably take a nap when I get home. So I think I watched a little bit of the movies and did some drawing. And I mean, it's first class. It's just, I had more leg room in premium economy, actually. In fact, I went back there a couple times. I kind of went back and I saw how Tony was doing. He's like sitting in the middle, got both seats free on the side, so plenty of arm room. I guess that was the most comfortable thing to do. So he seemed to enjoy his flight, and I did too. It worked out fine. It was like, and he'd already said, I want to be studying my DMV manual the whole time. So I was like, okay, cool, because I'm going to first class. I'm not turning that down. Because during the weekend there was times when people were chatting and had plenty of time to talk, and then Saturday afternoon people just wanted to watch TV or some movies, Breakfast Club and stuff like that. So I figured, well, we all had our time to communicate, and if people want to use that time for movies, then that's cool. But I kind of thinking we're all hanging out for the first time, and this is maybe in the last time some of these people are getting together. But why not just, I don't know, just chat and stuff like that. But anyway, you can't force it. Yeah, so get to SeaTac, and that's fine. Get off the plane, and it's packed, the whole thing. Every weekend this airport gets more and more crowded. But I said, all right, well, I'll help you get to your next gate, just because I'm in no hurry. So I said, all right. So I said, all right, we're at N. And you're at D. Okay, well, now we have to get on the train for that, but I'm getting on the train anyway, because I have to get to the baggage claim terminal, which is D. And so we get on the N train, and then take it one stop, C, no, and then D. It's like, okay, this is the stop. Well, when you get off at D gate from the train, there's two ways to go, left or right, basically. And I thought, well, the left stairs look farther down. Let's just take the right stairs. Now, the right stairs, I didn't realize there's a difference. And there is, because I've always just taken the right stairs, because I always have. I mean, I never knew there was left stairs, they're escalators, but I never knew they existed. So I said, okay, let's take a right. And then you were walking past the point of no return, the security gate, security agent, you want to exit this or you can't come back. I thought, well, no problem, don't have to come back, just as long as I have my bags, all is well. Get there, go up the escalator, and maybe go up another one, and then all of a sudden we're in the baggage claim area. So I thought, okay, well, that's fine, the gates are around, but then I realized this is the exiting area. This is we're out of the gate section. And for me, no big deal. I was going to the car park anyway, the carport. But Tony, he's got to catch another flight. He took a flight with two layovers, but he had to have at least one, because going to Seattle and has to go back to San Francisco. So I'm thinking, oops, this is a really big oops, because he's gonna have to get back through security again. Normally, who cares? He's got time to kill. There wasn't time to kill. We landed at 12:30 or whatever. Our flight was delayed 20 minutes. But his next flight was 12:35, and obviously would have missed that flight no matter what, except that flight was delayed. Yay, Spirit! So Spirit was delayed till 1, but now it's 12:35. I'm thinking, that's 1 o'clock's the takeoff time. and they board like half hour early, so I think, shoot, they're already boarding. So I think, dang it, I totally screwed up. I mean, the part of the screwing up was like, yeah, you can't book that short of a layover especially when it's not the same airline, because if the tickets aren't through the same booking process, they don't even know. They're not going to wait for sure, because they're not going to know the first flight was delayed and caused your second flight. So that's a huge thing. Try not to ever book. If you are going to book through different airlines for different legs of the trip, definitely 2 hours should be a minimum at that point. Maybe 1 hour if it's the same one. But I was like, all right, just follow me. And I was like looking at the security gates, and they're packed. It was like 20 to 30 minutes each. But luckily they have the little things where they tell you this wait, this wait, this wait. So like 4 gate, like I don't know, station 4 was like 30 minutes or 20, 30 minutes, and 3, but 2 was like 10 to 15 minutes, whatever, maybe 5 to 15. So I thought, all right, let's get down there, even though it's like a 5-minute walk almost to get all the way down there. So I just, come on, let's just get down there. But I just felt so much stress because I had kind of caused this. Maybe he might have done the same thing without me there, but I don't know. I just didn't think things through, because it just never happened. Again, I always go to the right. I always exit. I don't ever have a layover in Seattle for the most part, unless I'm going to Alaska from California, but that's gone now. So I get down there and figure, you know what, just ask. I mean, and not just ask like everybody in line to move up. It's just basically ask the person like at the outside of the gates that kind of checks to make sure in the right place. You just say, hey, here's the mistake. Here's what happened. And that's what I did. I kind of walked up, because it doesn't hurt to ask. So I just said, hey, here's the thing. His flight got in late, and he's got a 1 o'clock flight. It's 12:35, and can he wait to go to the front or skip? And the guy wanted to see the boarding pass, which is smart. And I said, not me, I'm just trying to help out. And he's like, okay, just go down this line, there's like 0 line at all. I'm thinking, all right, this is where, see ya, you're on your own, kid. And I was just thinking, okay, I did all I could, but it bugged me that it just could have been avoided. I mean, if you missed the flight because of that left turn, right turn thing, I would have just been so disappointed, because I was like, even on the way, I went to the carport, got Uber, figured $40 here, $30 if I go up to Tukwila. I thought, I'll just go home from here, $10 bill. But then I'm checking, all right, what's the next flight if he misses it? How do you get to San Francisco, Oakland? They're basically nothing except for like $500 flights. It was just, I mean, the next day it would have been cheaper, but it was just crazy. I thought, oh man. And I texted, say, hey, let me know if you caught your flight, because it's now 12. I mean, on the Uber ride home, it's 12:45, 51, and then around 1 o'clock, I was checking now the flight. Did the flight get delayed anymore? Which would have been a good thing for once. Was it not delayed? And I'm still kind of like looking a little bit stressed over it, because I hate to see my friend stranded or have to pay all this money, which would have just kind of made the trip. We don't do these dinner shows aren't to make money by all means. I mean, because of the traveling. When it was in California, yeah, could make money, but now that it's traveling, no. But $500 ticket just to get home after the $150 or $170 just to get to Seattle. So that would have been just awful. So anyway, I didn't hear anything, and finally the flight was supposedly departed or took off around 1:10. That was scheduled, but there was nothing more I could do. In fact, I took a nap that afternoon when I finally got home. And then a couple hours later, I got a text and said, yep, I caught the flight, everything okay. Caught the second flight, so made it back. And I was like so happy. I was like, oh yeah. I hated my mistake to cost someone a lot of money, whatever. Again, it wasn't all on me. I mean, it's like people, but I was sort of the guide. I was kind of responsible for it, trying to help someone get home okay. And I had recommended, like, get on the companion fare so you get the cheaper discount and the premium upgrade. So I got a good flight for a very good price. The first class ticket, I should say, for a last minute sale of it, it would have been $1,500. So I basically got a $1,500 ticket for $170, I guess. That's not a bad thing. Anyway, so that's the more. I think it just reminds me, if anything else, try not to do layovers when possible, because another friend of mine had a layover problem even going back west, East Coast, West Coast a few weeks ago. So yeah, layovers, they're sometimes just not worth the cost, and sometimes they are. It just depends on, different people have different amounts of budget for these things. So that's it. Did I cover everything? Yeah, I think I did. The show went really well. The shows, I should say, there are 2 shows, and yeah, I mean, at the end of it, I was thinking I was going to shave after the show, but then, I don't know, one of the actresses said, oh, it looks good, keep it. I don't know. I guess with long hair, it complements it well. If I when I get the haircut, I'll probably get this shave too. And I do miss being able to shave in the shower because now I have to shave more carefully. But I don't know. For now, I can let it go a little while longer and just see how things go. But the main problem is my phone doesn't recognize my face as easily. It's like I kind of have to do it once or twice, take the glasses off, and so there's the downside to that. But anyway, all right, I've talked long enough. Fun times. Next one's not for a couple months. I'm already kind of missing it. Like, but I got more flights. I got more trips planned, so it's not like I'm not going to be flying. All right, that's it. Peace out.